Yes, once again, welcome to Dallas Cowboys headquarters. The Dallas Cowboys entered to the National Football League off-season with a bold decision that surprised many analysts across the country. After the years of relying heavily on CeeDee Lamb as their primary playmaker in the receiving corps, Cowboys chose to make a move that instantly changed the personality and identity of the offense. In headline-making trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cowboys acquired wide receiver George Pickens shortly after a National Football League draft. At the first, the move generated both excitement and nervous energy among the fans and commentators. Pickens was a player with extraordinary talents, but he was also entering to the final year of his contract, and many wondered whether Dallas was taking an unnecessary risk by investing in a player who might walk away in free agents. Yet, from the moment Pickens arrived in the Dallas, the story began to change. Instead of the off-field concerns that had flawed him early in his career, the Cowboys discovered a young athlete who was mature, focused, and determined to show the world what he was capable for achieving. During team practice, he became one of the most attentive and hardworking players on the field. In the locker room, he immediately built trust with the veteran teammates. Day by day, Pickens proved that he was not only ready for the larger role, but he was ready to thrive as a new environment, and also in a new environment. Most importantly, Pickens developed remarkable chemistry with the quarterback Dak Prescott. Their connection grew quickly, transforming the Cowboys' offense into one of the most explosive units in the league. With CeeDee Lamb on one side, Pickens on the other side, the fans suddenly found themselves overwhelmed, confused, and unable to double-team both stars receivers at once. This new partnership pushed Prescott into the National Football League most valuable player conversation and positioned Pickens for the most important negotiation of his young career. When the trade first became official, many analysts described the Dallas decision as aggressive but uncertain. Pickens' talent was undeniable. He possessed exceptional hands, a right body control, and rare ability to turn a low-time play into highlight moments. However, the question surrounding his maturity had flowed him from the college into the pros. Critics said he needed discipline. Others wondered if he could handle the pressure of representing American team. The franchise, with one of the largest and the most passionate fan base in all professional sports. But George Pickens answered those doubters quickly. Shortly after arriving at the Cowboys facility, he began working closely with the coaching staff to understand their expectations, the team culture, and the playbook. He approached every training session with seriousness and intensity. Coach noted that he never complained during drills, never questioned instructions, and never allowed distractions to interfere with his goals. His attitude became contagious, inspiring teammates around him. On the field, the results spoke for themselves. Pickens constantly delivered the clutch plays, spectacular catches, and game-changing moments that elevated the Cowboys' offense to the new heights. Week after week, his highlights really grew longer. Defensive coordinators across the league began adjusting their game plans, especially to account for his presence. Yet, even with extra attention from the defenders, Pickens continued to thrive, providing he had matured into a reliable and dominant wide receiver. This transformation sparked an entirely new conversation. How much would it cost the Cowboys to keep him? As Pickens' performances intensified and Cowboys' offense soared, speculations about his contract future became one of the most discussed topics in Dallas sports media. Fans debated whether the team should offer him a long-term extension, or apply the franchise tag. Others wondered whether the salary cap challenges would force Dallas to let him test free agents. All of these questions reached in a turning point when Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones appeared on the radio, one of the most influential sports radio in the Texas. During the broadcast, Jones was asked directly about Pickens' contract situation and what the organization intended to do. His answer was simple, powerful, and clear. Jones explained that anyone watching Pickens playing already knew what he and team owner Jerry Jones wanted. Their goal was not to delay, not to negotiate out of the caution, and not to search for the alternatives. Their goal was to sign George Pickens to a long-term contract and keep him in Dallas for the years to come. He praised Pickens for his maturity, his dedication, and his ability to elevate the Cowboys' offense from the moment when he arrived in the Dallas Cowboys. Jones admitted that there was still work to do. Contract negotiations in the National Football League are never quick or easy. They require careful attention to the financial structure, salary cap management, and long-term planning. But Jones made it clear that the team believed Pickens and he had become one of the most valuable pieces of the roster. Keeping him was no longer simply an option. It was a priority. For the Cowboys fans, this announcement was exactly what they hoped to hear. With Pickens firmly integrated into the Cowboys system, the team's offensive identity shifted in a dramatic fashion. Instead of relying heavily on one main target, Dallas gained the second elite playmaker capable of stretching the field, winning contested catches, and punishing defenses that dared to leave him in single coverage. In the game after game, Pickens delivered crucial plays that helped the Dallas maintain its winning streak. His ability to leap over defenders, maintain balance after the contact, the track deep passes contributed to some of the most memorable moments of the season. The highlights of him holding Kansas City Chiefs cornerback Trent McDuffie became a viral image that represented in athleticism and confidence. CeeDee Lamb, now partnered with another dominant receiver, found more space and freedom in passing attack. Defenses that focused all their attention on Lamb quickly realized they were leaving Pickens with favorable matchups. Defenses that doubled Pickens discovered Lamb tearing them apart in the slot or in the perimeter. This dynamic combination forced the opponent to play the Cowboys more continuously, often dropping additional defensive backs into coverage, which opened a new opportunity for the running game. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott thrived with more weapons at his disposal and less pressure to carry the offense alone. He delivered the most efficient season of his career. Analysts across the league pointed out that Dak Prescott rise into the most valuable player conversation was not only due to his own improvement but also because Pickens had expanded the Cowboys' offensive toolkit. The chemistry among Prescott, Lamb, and Pickens created one of the most dangerous offense trio in the football. As the season progressed, sports analysts began projecting with the Pickens' next contract might look like. Many predict that he would earn one of the highest salaries among the wide receivers, potentially ranking within the top 10 in the league. His age, production, and steady improvement all support the idea that he is deserved for a long-term commitment with guaranteed money. Some experts suggest that Pickens could command a deal worth well over $100 million, especially given the rising market for elite wide receiver. Others believe the Cowboys might explore using the franchise tag as temporary solution if the negotiation extended deeper into off-season. However, all-out signs pointed towards the same conclusion. Pickens' value was too significant for the Cowboys to take risk losing him. For the Cowboys fans, the contract discussion was not only about the money, it was about hope. It was about breeding a championship-level offense that could compete with the best team in the National Football League, NFL. With the Pickens, Lamb, and Prescott forming a stable core, Dallas would not need to overhaul its offensive identity each season. Instead of the front office could focus on strengthening the defense, filling the roster gaps, and preparing the deeper playoff. As the Cowboys entered in the late stages of the season, their goals became clear. On the field, they were competing for seeding in the playoffs and fighting to maintain their momentum. Off the field, conversation about the team's long-term structure continued to grow. Coaches praised Pickens for his consistency and discipline. Teammates praised him for his humility and willingness to support others. Fans praised him simply for transforming the offense into something exciting, unpredictable, and nearly unstoppable. If successful signs Pickens to long-term contract, the franchise will have stability at one of the most important positions in the modern football. The core offense piece will be locked in, enabling the team to invest in the defensive talent, improve the depths, and build more balanced roster. In many ways, George Pickens' trades has already changed the Cowboys, but securing his future in the Dallas would solidify the transformation and help the team create foundation for the success that extends far beyond this season. The story of George Pickens and Dallas Cowboys is a story of the risk, opportunity, and transformation. It is a story about the young players who arrived in the Dallas with the questions surrounding his maturity and commitment. It is also the story about how they answered every question through hard work, discipline. Cowboys head coach. Cowboys have spent several seasons under constant scrutiny because of their instability at the offensive tackle position. And every year seems to bring a new uncertainty. First, there was the final year of the Tyron Smith, when no one could predict if he would be healthy enough to play. After his retirement, the focus shifted to the development of Tyler Guyton, the talented but still learning first-round pick. At the same time, Trent has been on long road trying to return to his old form. Together, these issues have created the continuing cloud over the tackle sport. The 2025 season has followed the same pattern. Even without Smith, the Cowboys still find themselves discussing the availability and performances of the tackles nearly every week. Guyton has shown progress, yet he remains inconsistent. Unfortunately, still has not looked like the dominant player he once was. Many Cowboys fans have questioned whether he will ever fully return to that level. However, in the middle of these doubts, an unexpected blind spot has appeared. The rise of the second-year offensive lineman Nate Thomas. Thomas, a seventh-round pick out of the Louisiana, arrived with very little national attention. During his rookie season 2024, he essentially redshirted, spending time developing behind of the scene without playing meaningful snaps. But everything changed during the 2025 training camp. He showed maturity, strength, and confidence far beyond expectations. Coaches quickly realized that he could be the ideal swing tackle for the season. At the 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 331 pounds, he has the size needed to survive against powerful defensive linemen. Even if he does not have a long arms that many elite tackles possess, as the season went in, the injuries affected the line. Thomas stepped on the whenever needed. He played 199-minute offensive snaps and even started 2 games at both tackle spots. His reliability has not gone unnoticed. Many analysts now believe he may be more than just temporary fix. Some even suggest that Thomas could compete for the starting job in near future. On the left side, Tyler Guyton's position appears safe. As the first round pick from the 2024 draft, he has shown enough progress to convince the Cowboys that he remains part of their long-term plan. He has taken clear step forward in his second year, especially as a run blocker, where his strength and technique have been improving each week. The situation is quite different from the Trent's Taylor. His contract carries a massive cap hit of the $18,150,000 in the both 2025 and 2026. With that kind of the salary, the expectations are extremely high. However, Staley has not performed at a level that matches his price. According to the current grading, the ranks 37th out of the 80 offensive tackles. While this is not terrible, it is not the level that Cowboys hoped for from someone earning that much money. Therefore, if there is any starting job available for Thomas to pursue, it is likely the right tackle position currently held by Staley. Still, it is important to stay realistic. Nate Thomas remains a developing player. He is not a perfect solution, nor is ready to dominate at this point in his career. Even though Guyton and Staley have struggled at the times in the passing protection, Guyton grading in the bottom 10 among the 80 tackles, and Staley is bottom 25. Thomas has shown even more difficult in this area. He has allowed 11 pressures, even with the addition help through ships and double team blocks. He has given up only 1 sack, which seems positive, but that does not mean he is fully prepared for the full-time starting role. Thomas is a late-round pick with limited experience, and he is playing like someone who is still adjusting to the speed and complexity of the National Football League. He is a project player with potential, not a granted answer. What matters for the Cowboys is that he is continuing learning, improving his footwork, and strengthening his pass protection skills. Fortunately for the Dallas, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer and quarterback Dak Prescott knows how to manage weaknesses along the offensive line. Through smart play design, quick decision making, and awareness side of the pocket, they have found ways to reduce the impact of the issues at the tackle position. Even so, the Cowboys are currently at their best when both Guyton and Staley are healthy and available. The emergencies of the Thomas does not immediately solve all of the offensive line problems, but it does offer hope for a 7th round pick to step in and compete with highly paid veteran shows how valuable late round development can be. Thomas embodies the idea that talent can be found anywhere in draft if team is patient and committed to coaching. As the Cowboys continue pushing through the remainder of the 2025 season, All ears, all eyes will be on how the tackle rotation evolves. Will Thomas take more snaps? Will Stere rebound and justify his large contract? Will Guyton continue moving in the right direction? This question will shape